All righty, Doc here from North America. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. What do we got here for a Tuesday before Christmas in the United States and the world? Let's take a look and see. You can see the dollar index. It's just sideways now the last couple of days. There's been some interesting, I want to call it chatter. It's been funny chatter about the way people are interpreting the dollar. Like the dollar is being over here in the United States, they're trying to tell us that the dollar is enormously weak, enormously weak. I don't know what they're thinking, but in the end result is that if that's weak, I'm sure everybody in the world would like to have their currency as weak as the dollar. And so it's we're hearing that, and they they put a chart up a lot of times too with the dollar index, and you see it at 102, and it shows that it had dropped down a little bit lower, and it was up around 105 at one point, and they just they make it sound like the world is coming to an end for the dollar. And the media, as we call it now, the corporate media, just spins whatever they can spin. They make stories up whatever they can make. Whatever that works against everybody else and is positive for them. And that's pretty much the name of the game there. Oh, let's get to the chat line. Let's see if Giannis has got multiple questions today, which was fun yesterday. I enjoyed that. I liked his answer when I labeled the webinar long-term capital management trade, question mark. And for those that missed the statement about long-term capital management, it's well worth watching yesterday's video. Just seeing Robin. Hey, Robin, thank you. And thank you. Saw the stuff that came in the last night and this morning. It has been transported into an account. Thank you. So, nope, don't see any questions this morning. But one thing is relatively clear, and that is the dollar is, as far as I can tell, is firm, not weak. And you can see here in the chart, if you want to call that weak, okay. But when you look on it on J4X, it got down to 99, and it's definitely higher than the 99s. And it went back up into the 107s. It's a nice tight range, but overall, if we make that bigger on the screen, you can see that that's back to basically 2000. There's 2019. I mean, we're above 2019 area, so I mean we've had some lows into the 90s and 80. Was that 89? But we are nowhere near that right now. So just because we've sold off a little bit here from the 114, which was the all-time record high, it's awful hard to look at the currencies and say, oh, this is really, really weak. It really is. It's hard. So, at least in my head, and I would imagine almost any other pairs trader would think the same thing. All right, and you can see it over here on the beta, just hanging sideways, pushing back into that buy. You can see the same thing over here, pushing into the buy. And then over here you can see it's at 25 and the slow is at 19, pushing into the buy. And so it's all very positive there. What else can we say about that? Let's see what the weekly looks like. You can see right there. It is dipping down again, but it doesn't really go too far. Fast hadn't made it through the zero line and is back down again. And over on the beta, you can see the weekly is trying to climb up, showing this is just sideways, and over in the beta it's trying to lift. We'll see. Today is Tuesday, so it gives us a flavor of what's going on there. That's the Monday close of the weekly now. So we're picking up and seeing the action where we've come from the lows, and we've been 9 weeks in the sell there. Over on the other platform, we've been 7 weeks in the sell. So as much as sometimes we're confused, like there you go, see that, and then the fast got down there too. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. you could almost say, going into 7, started 7 really there. And then when we go over to the beta, you see it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So all the way up in here. It started a couple weeks before that. So that's, in other words, yeah, it was weak. It is weak relative to being at all-time highs. And, as long as we're above a par, 1.00, as far as I'm concerned, that's strong. And even if we got into the 90s, like 96, 97, it's still strong. It's still strong. Compared to watching something like the Great Experiment, the Turkish lira, or we've seen the euro go from, 145 down to, basically 95. That's a pretty big swing there. And compare that to what the dollar has done, looks fine to me. It doesn't look like I need to be panicked about it. What else can we say about the dollar index? I guess that's about it. That was what was nice yesterday. Janos had some good questions. Made me think about long-term capital management, something I hadn't thought about in a long time. But when you're trying to compare trading, say, U.S. bonds versus European bonds, it makes me it reminds me of the classic long-term capital management trade. So, all right, from there we'll jump over to the euro. Let's see what the euro is doing. And right there's the euro. Click there. Right there. That's the yen. There's a preview to the yen talk this morning. And there's the euro. Trying to get into that sell again. Little weakness there. The weekly is down towards the low. It's broken the manifold. It's down there. The good thing is the fast is trying to lift up through, and the slow is trying to knock down. Very rare to see that type of action. Let's see if we can see anything the last time it did it. It didn't help any. You can see where the slow was going down. The fast was bouncing off the zero line. Was it the zero? Oh, the zero line was here. There's the zero line right there. And it was trying to turn up, and we did get some strength for about a week right there. And then it just joined right back in again and started pushing down. Let's see if we see any others that look that way where they're cross-matching each other. Not particular. I guess this one here. No, not really. That's going all the way back to May of this year. So that's kind of interesting. This is breaking. Let's see, where's the zero line? Let's get that zero line in there right too. There's the zero line. So we'll see how. Oh, was it Wilmington? Interesting. So that is, some action we're starting to see in the euro. Again, the end of the year, so I have a hard time taking any of this stuff to heart. I don't think it means a lot, and we've seen that throughout the decades. For many decades, for 3 and 4 and 5 decades, we've seen where markets go one way for a couple weeks, and then the next thing you know is that the new year comes around and they take a whole different direction. There we are. So, yo, ho, ho, ho. All right, from the euro, we march over to the cable. There's the cable, and it's too trying to get into the sell, and but it's lifting up there, so that's battling it. And at the same time, the weekly looks so much more firmer than the euro. Let's take a quick look. I guess you could say. Let's put it. First of all, we can go. Let's take a look at the beta too, and let's see what it looks like on J4X. Right there. And so you can see, And let's also put it up on 6B, the futures contract. 6B. 6B. I had to laugh at that. All right, and so there it is. Pound. You can see pound is trying to lift up today. Fast is at 61. Slow is at. Let me just look closer. So is that 69? I guess. So it's showing some weakness there. 61 versus 69. And there's 70. Yeah. So it's just a little weakness, but we have a green hinky ASCII at the same time. And at the same time, you can see over here we have that same cross confusion. We are up above the zero line. I'm sorry, we're not. This is, I should double check. Yes, that's cable. So we're below the zero line. There's a negative, just like we're doing here. At the same time, we have a green dot and a red dot, and it's lifting up at the same time. So we're seeing that. There we are. What else can we say about the cable? Now, you know what I wanted to do this too. I wanted to go take a look at on that platform. We'll show you the futures contract right there. Doing pretty much the same thing. It's lifting and it's dropping underneath there. So they're all feeling the pressure there. You see the weekly looking very strong. Now I want to go back to the other platform, and I want to look at the Euro GBP. That's been interesting right there. And you can see it's been in a weekly sell since it's topping out right there. A little lifting up in here, but we're still in that weekly sell. Just getting through the zero line on the fast, but not the slow. And we're going back into the daily sell again, trying to do that right there, but it's got a green and a red going on. So you can see the end of the year confusion. Where are we at now? This is the 19th. So, we got 11 days trading wise. We have, what do we have here? We have, what's today? Today's Tuesday. So we have Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So we have 4 days. Then we have 4 days next week. So we have 8 trading days to deal with the end of the year situation for a lot of funds and management. And personal traders who find ways to sell the losses, take the losses and offset it with their gains. And that's part of the process. Alrighty. So from there, we go over to the Swiss. I saw UBS was popping up a little bit more. Money's coming in, but more buyers for someone bought a bigger position in UBS. And they said that they've raised their earnings projection because of their purchase of Credit Suisse. One of the good things about those situations is that when they buy one of these organization, companies, corporations, whatever you want to call it, usually they're getting the better deal. I mean, think about it. Bank of America ended up buying Merrill Lynch for something like $7 a share. That's like almost giving it away for free. At the same time, the Federal Reserve made sure they could afford to do that by putting a lot of capital in their account. And as time goes on, they grow out of their mistake. Merrill Lynch, the subsidiary now, not an independent company anymore, owned by Bank of America. And Bank of America, I wonder if we can get Bank of America up on the screen here. And Bank of America, let's find a spot and do that. And I think this is a good example of what we're seeing, with the Swiss this morning. Let's see, let's open this up. We don't even have to open it that way. We can go like this. Go right there. Make a copy of that. Activate. Copy. And paste. And we'll put it down at the bottom. Now let's go back over to here. Oh, let's put the Bank of America in there. I think that's a good example of what we're seeing UBS do this morning in Switzerland. And that probably is helping the currency out because people trust it a little bit more today than they did yesterday when they see money coming into a marketplace. Let's see. That's Boeing. We don't have BAC. Okay, add a symbol. BAC. Bank of America. Hey, traders out there, if you want to ask a question, be my guest. It doesn't have to have anything to do with what I'm looking at. I'm just keeping myself entertained at this point. Stock. So obviously they've done something right there. And obviously owning Merrill Lynch, I mean, most people probably don't think about it too hard. Excuse me. But you can see, let's see how far back we go. So you can see there was a $25 stock back in 2000. And we got up to $50. It doubled. And now it's back up to 33. So that's a good example of, when you bail out something that's, was a decent company at one time and it falls apart, the way they sell it off in slices they end up getting the best parts. And that's what Credit Suisse was. They got the best parts of Credit Suisse, UBS, and now UBS is being bid up this morning from it. All right, that's the United Bank of Switzerland. Now, brown cow, let's put in the Swiss itself, the currency, right there. And it's been on that slow, steady, just slow grind down. Let's put it up over here. And right there. And right there. There's the Swiss. You see we're making some nice lows. We're in the 86s. It's awful good for this time last year. It was at 101. So someone should call Turkey and explain to them how to do that. And so there it is right there. The Swiss moving down. You can see it there on J4X, from the 91 area, and then before that, there's the 92 area, and then before that, last year, going into the fourth quarter of last year, it was at the 101 area. What a beautiful, well-managed economy. It's much better than some of the others we see around. And you can see the Swiss looking very fine there. And we've been in a weekly sell on that thing for 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 weeks now. And watched it come down from the 90s down to 86s. Alrighty. What a quiet day, huh? Now from there, we go over. Didn't see any political noise. The only noise I heard out of Japan this morning was, where's the dollar yen? Dollar yen right there. And you can see it's popping its head up. You got the fast at 41. You got the slow at 28. You got it over here. Right there. There is dollar yen. Same situation, lifting up. But the weekly is still in that weekly sell for the time being. The talk was that they were thinking about raising rates? I think they were talking about raising rates. And so they didn't raise rates today. And I guess that's the interpretation, is that they think money will run towards Japan, I guess. So they're buying yuan or yen. I guess it is yen. Can you buy yuan? I guess you can. That's Chinese currency. Um, it's the yen itself has been acting well. The Nikkei is up around the 34,000 area. Let's see if we can put that up on the screen. Bounced off of the 35,000 area, and the all-time high is 39 back in 1994, something like what is that? That's almost a 30-year high we're heading towards, and that was an all-time high at the same time. Let's see if we can get the Nikkei up on the screen here. We'll put it up on the beta. Beta. That's Nike. There's a Russell 2000. There it is right there. Let's put that up on the screen. You see that nice pop heading for the 34,000 area. And you can see the daily is trying to get back into the buy, and you can see the weekly is trying to do the same thing. You got the fast breaking through the zero line. So there's some action there. We talked about this yesterday about the $20 trillion carry trade that's going on. Yeah, not $20 billion carry trade, not the 20 million carry trade. The Japanese can handle a $20 trillion carry trade. It's big numbers. And, a lot of these economies around the world are really having their issues. And, everybody's marching still. They keep on moving and doing positive things, or at least staying afloat. I mean, luckily not everybody's falling apart like the way the great experiment is in Turkey. But, we'll see. As time goes on, we'll see who survives and who doesn't when it comes to that. And we've seen Argentina and places like that just declare bankruptcy and start over again. It's the funniest and weirdest thing at the same time. Now we're gonna be cheering Argentina on because it's got a capitalist, a realist economist, that actually understands marketplace. Answering a text. Drinking my tea since no one seems to be around today. All right, what are we doing here now? Let's go from the yen to the great experiment and see what they're up to. Right, Euro, Turkish lira, right there. Let's put it in here. There's Turkish lira there. And there's on the screen there. So we've been in a buy there for 4 or 5 days. 6 days now. The weekly, still in the weekly, it tried to challenge it in the beginning of the week. I guess yesterday it was much lower. It's climbing again. And it's not far from all-time close. The all-time close now is 31.956. That's how we'll do it. We'll do it 3 digits. 31.956. And right now we're only 7 ticks away from that. Just 7 simple ticks, because right now we're at 31.899. So there's 9. 31.900. So we're watching this thing. That's could be another closing all-time high again. Now. What are we looking at next? that was the Turkish lira, the great experiment, and it's a. Let's see. There we go. So from there, the Turkish lira, and there's not much more you can say about that. Just the fact that it's just a few ticks away from all-time closing high. All time. All right. Now from there, we go over to the number one brick in the world. That is the South African rand. And what we do is which is really interesting, is we look at all the metals complex, since that seems to be what the rand really represents, is metals. You see here today, it's at 33.20, or let's say 33.2 on the fast, and at 21.9 on the slow. So, and it's got a green hinky. And let's see what it looks like over here. Right there. It's actually falling down. It's got a green dot, but it's falling down, and well, actually, it's trying to go into the buy as we speak. So, but it's down in price. So, matter of fact, gold should be going up a little bit from that action, and you can see we're actually threatening the weekly now, right there. So we've done this. We've gone sell. We went into a weekly buy 2 weeks ago, and you can see. Let's do this correctly. So there's the buy. There we are. And then it fell back into the sell. Let's see if we can steal a sell from somewhere. I don't feel like making one. There's some sells. Let's move that over to like that, and we'll take this one and move it over like that. We don't even have the weekly going into the weekly until like right there. There was the buy then. And then let's put this over a little bit further. Wow, what a choppy action, huh? And then it went into, let's see, I guess we need to put a buy in there. There's the buy. And then we got to push the sell in there like so. And now we're doing the buy again. So it's, boy, talk about end of the year noise. And we keep on hearing about how people are deeply concerned about the I guess you call it the, let's make that bigger. Is that good? It seems to be good. Okay, we'll go like that. And you can see it's trying to climb into the buy. And you can see the daily is trying to lift up at the same time. Green dot. Problem is it's down a little bit. Now, let's save that. And we'll go over to, let's put it up. We got it up on J4X. Let's look at the metals complex itself right there. Ooh, the stock market. Stock market's making highs again. So, let's see. There's the S&P 500 banging through the 803. And we're looking to put up gold up on the screen. So there is the gold right there. And it's trying to lift. Not the best of action, but it's trying to lift. It's been in the sell. We ended up changing this. See this day right here? All the exchanges are reflecting that. Not only that, the gold, the Feb gold and the April gold are reflecting it at the same time. So the exchange changed the data on this one. That was interesting, and it's accurate when you go and look at the historic. Let's see what else is there. Let's see if we can go like that. And let's see. Yep, I see it everywhere. Let's see, I just heard a ding somewhere. Let's see where that ding came from. All right. Chuck. Oh, okay. Let's do this. Let's get rid of that. Let's see, where is that? Let's do that. There we go. So, gold, trying to lift up a little bit today, but in the daily sell, the weekly still holding up strong. And then when we go over and look at silver, let's go look at silver. There we are. Let's see. There's silver. And you can see that same action going on right there, pressing down, but it's lifting up. And we're in a weekly buy for 3 weeks. This is the third week. So it's turning into a real battle. Trying to turn into a battle. Best way to look at it. And we'll see how long, it... there we go. Let's see, what else we got there? From silver, let's save the silver too. That's that Blackpool thing when it comes to sometimes the prices. They change them, and the exchange changes its data, and the next thing you know is it's a whole different situation. And our math can only it follows the prices, so we don't have much of a choice. And from there, let's see, we go to copper, and there's the copper. And copper's been hanging in that buy. Doesn't seem to be wanting to back away from that. There is, see, B here. Where is B here? There we go. With copper, I heard somebody talk about it yesterday. I thought it was kind of interesting about that song I've been hearing for so long about how China could pull the world out of this slow economy, and someone jumped in and said, waiting for that trade has been too long. There's China is not doing it, and then they started talking about how China is exporting, how'd they say it? Deflation. Because what they're doing is they're manufacturing, and since the world economy is slowing, what they're doing is they're cutting prices and sending it, just selling it. So in other words, something that was $5 is now $3, and they're losing money on it, but they're trying to get that cash, and we've seen that. They are desperate for cash in China. I don't know what they're spending the monies on it. They borrow all these billions upon billions, but they seem to be missing the liquidity in the cash. So they're doing it at a loss, obviously. And if you do things at a loss, over time, no matter how much cash flow you have, it's hard to survive. And that's the curious thing. It's like, $11 billion loans, and they default on a $15 million payment. It's like, where's the $11 billion? Can't you find $15 million to pay the payment? Or like $22 billion, and now they start, not defaulting. How do they call it? They foreclosing. They start foreclosing on skyscrapers in different cities around the world, saying, you didn't pay your payment. This was collateral. It's ours now. That type of thing. So. It's, as we always say, China is a paper tiger. It makes a lot of noise, but, it's paper thin. Then we go to, there's copper. Let's save the copper. Copper. And there it is right there, copper. So then we go over into the platinum. And there's the platinum. Platinum's actually acting strong, and I keep on having this. I don't know. It's like a when they say, "Oh, my hair is standing up," or shivers when you hear something that you think about something that might be happening. It's very strange. But how do you sell short any more platinum than they've already sold? When you have gold trading at $2,000 an ounce and you have platinum trading at $950 an ounce, it's awful hard to want to short that. You have to. Let's hope they're buying calls when they short it. Let's put it that way, because it's like, one day you're going to wake up and it's going to be $200 higher. It's just like, sooner. It would if I you go into a jewelry store and try to buy something physical, and they got platinum rings and gold rings, and the platinum rings are like way more expensive than the gold ring, and it's like, wait a minute, at the exchange they trade it for a 50% discount. And they go, really? And they don't know what we're talking about. It's like physical versus delivery, or, listed, contracts versus the actual physical delivery itself are two different worlds. Just two different worlds. And so when I look at the platinum, I think, oh my God, how would you? I know you're long gold and you're shorting platinum, but it would not be a surprise to watch. Let's put it this way: if there wasn't quantitative easing, this would not be happening. Obviously, this is obviously part of the quantitative easing process. Where they use other products to short, and they buy the one that they want to stand up, because almost everybody has gold in their incorporation manifesto, saying that if inflation goes to X and if gold goes to X, then we have to do this. And remember, the stability, quantitative easing's whole objective is constant, steady stability. All right. Okay. And that does it right there. And then, you can see right here, let's put it up on this one. Right there, you can see South African Rand trying to show a little strength here this morning. At the same time, the algorithm is lifting up. And you can see the weekly is lifting up, which is not a good sign for the metals complex. Metals might be sold down at the first of the year. That might be the real action. And this has just been end of the year window dressing. All right, now from there we go over to the Canadian, and there's the Canadian dollar. The Canadian dollar is way, way, way down, and we would expect to see not gold, but liquid gold, and that is crude oil, up and away. And this morning, last I saw, crude oil was banging around the $70 area, West Texas. I believe that's what it was. No, $72. Okay, that makes more sense. I'm not sure what I saw this morning, but I saw something. Maybe it was the January contract. Maybe that's what it was. And so, crude oil, there's January contract there. Let's see if we can get that. Yeah, January contract is around the $70 area. Let's put it up on here. I still have it on the beta. And you can see there it is even traded below the $70 area, making a low of, let's see, just emphasize that a little bit, like that. Got down below $68 on Wednesday of last week. So, then they lifted it back up, and it's still firm. It's in the $72 area, and that is the January contract. And we're looking here on, what's that? That's March oil. Let's go find February oil. And February oil right there is trading at $72.64. And there's a premium to it. So obviously the front month, no one, there's a discount of 65 cents. And let's save that. Let's see. Let me see. And then from there, let's see, we'll go over to let's take a look at Brent. We'll put that up on J4X. And there is Brent. Brent is trading at $77.89. So it's $5 premium over West Texas. It's a big premium. And let's put it up on the beta. BZ. There it is. There you are. So you can see right there, bouncing up and a buy for 3 days, showing some good strength in there. Same thing over here. You can see it's 82.6 versus, is that 81? That's hard to believe it is. Yeah, it's like 81. So 82.7 versus 81.5. And that's really what it comes down to, is that energy contracts are just kind of, in the middle of the road. Canadian is selling off, and you can see a nice little bounce. Excuse me, little sneeze there. And for the last 4 or 5 days, it's been lifting back up again. So, what else can we say about that? What can we say about that? I guess that's about the end of the story. And there, we'll go over to natural gas and see what the natural gas looks like. There we are. And then from natural gas, let's get that up on the screen there. Right there. You see, we're trading at $2.47. We fell all the way down to $2.23. And that is really all the action we expect out of that. In other words, America's loaded with natural gas, so, it does better and better and better and better. What else can we say? I guess that's about what it says right there. Let's put it up on, there's natural gas right there on the beta. Trying to lift up also. Actually, it's moving down today, isn't it? And you can see the signal is starting to break. The weekly's been in a weekly sell for 8 full weeks now. You can see that there. We go over to right there, and let's put it up on the other platform right there. There it is. You see the same thing. It's breaking down there, trying to go back into the sell as we speak with a red and underneath the 0 line. And at the same time, there is 7 full weeks in a sell. So the pressure is pressing down. And, I'm sure that, we're not getting as cold a weather on the East Coast. So it's keeping things down like natural gas and, what's the other one? Heating oil. So it makes it cheaper out west since we're not using that much here. Whereas like in Ohio and mid and the central part of the country is much colder, just like you are in Europe. And poor Australia in the southern hemisphere really getting hit with those floods. And then from there we take a look at the Spanish company that trades in energies. And we'll put that right there. And you can see that's been in a daily sell for 5 days now, threatening to go into the weekly. Over here on J4X, right there. See that breaking down the same way. See the fastest at 11, the slow's at 10? No, that's 30. And the slow is at basically 11. So it's 3 times lower in price. That's a lot of pressure on the product. A lot of pressure. Alrighty. Let's see. Oh, well, let's do this. Let's cancel that. Let's just change the to it default. See if it changes the price tag in there. There we are. Yeah, there we go. So we're seeing it pushed into the cell yesterday. Now I can see that now. Let's double check that with our natural gas there. And don't see that as much. Let's see. Huh. Interesting. Well, we're going to put the red line in there like that. We're just going to call it sell right there. And you can see the weekly and the daily, and you can see right there, we'll have to double check that. But this is definitely breaking down. Let's save that. Nat gas. There we are. Then from there, we go over to, we've shown you what the Spanish company's up to. We've seen you show you natural gas. And that pretty much does it for the energy sector. And I don't see anybody asking any questions anywhere. So, nothing. Quiet day. The holidays do that. All right, now from there, we'll switch over to the stock indices. So let's take a look at the stock indices this morning. You see them, that's not the stock indices. Right there's stock indices. And they're making more highs, and more highs. And you can see the strength in there, and it's been in the buy since, I guess, right there at 795. And we're trading, almost made 05. What's the high now? The high is 0425. And then when we go and look at, there it is right there. There's the S&P 500. You see that acting very strong. 2, 4, 6, 8 weeks in a weekly buy. 7 days in a daily buy. It's not backing away whatsoever. Any of that action. And then we go down and look at the Tech 100. Right there. And that is 6 days in a daily buy. And 2, 4, 6, 7 weeks in a weekly buy. That pressure has been, definitely pushing on the stock indices. We've seen the Dow making all-time highs. The buying that goes on doesn't seem to want to quit. Let's see. Let's see. Anyhow, that's the action we're seeing in the stock indices. And blowing my nose there. And let's take a look at the grand lady of them all, and that is the Dow Jones Industrial Average right there. And that's doing the same thing at 37,766 all-time highs in a weekly buy for 7 weeks, daily buy for 7 days. Yep, 7 days. So it's been very positive. Let's see what it looks like on the beta. I think it's up top. What we need to do is put in, let's put that in there. Let's see. Add to there, to there, and what's that? YM equals F. I think that's what it is. YM equals F. I think that's how it works. Yeah, that's how it works. And let's add that. Save. Now we'll go over to here hit the home, give it the little circle spin, and there it is. And there is the Dow Jones Industrial Average, giving us a couple of red dots and pushing into a sell yesterday. How about that? So we're feeling a little pressure there, but been in a weekly buy for 9 full weeks. Not bad. And we'll see how today rolls. You can't take that short, traders, because why? We're in a weekly buy. So that's where we're at. And let's put it up over here. Oh yeah, we have it over there. And oh, you didn't see it over there. Let's see it. Here's the beta right there. And you can see the beta is pushing it into the sell yesterday and is trying to push it into the sell today. Let's see what where's the fast? Okay, yeah, looks good. So it's just taking a little rest, a little digestion from past performance and action. I guess that's the best way to describe that. Let's see. Let's see, DXH. Let's get rid of that. We're getting rid of some of these things that are just not used anymore. You know, they've expired. That one too. Let's see. Do we have it all? Yep. And so I guess the next thing we can look at is the, what do you call it? It's the Russell 2000. Let's see what the Russell 2000 looks like. Russell 2000. Let's put it up on the screen. RTY. They've been really reaching for that, and we've talked about that. That is the canary in the coal mine. There it is up in there. Over 2,000. It's gone from 1,700 in less than a month to 2,000. And people have been waiting for that trade, and you can see it's been in a weekly buy for something like 8 out of the last 9 weeks, and 7 weeks straight. So it's been telling us for a while to be long or be wrong, and that's pretty much the way it looks. Now let's take a look at the let's do it over here. Let's take a look at Bitcoin, the cash itself. Where is it at? Cash. Bitcoin Cash, right there. You see it's been holding up pretty well. Went into a sell a couple days back, but now it's the second day in a buy. It's been in a weekly buy for 10 full weeks. You know, all the way back into October, down in the where is it? October 16th. So October 16th, we were down in the 28,000 area. So that's been pretty healthy there. All right, traders, I guess that's it. Nobody's asking questions, so we're going to get out of here. This is Doc from North America. We will catch you all tomorrow, which is Happy to Hump Day on Wednesday. And happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy trails to you, to all our trading friends. Later, traders. Have a safe and smart trading day. Ta-ta for now. There we are. Okay, now let's find a title.